Yesterday, May 24th, met with Howard Breedlove, born 1918, up on Highland Ridge. That's above Buncombe Holler. And Howard allowed us to video his memories and recollection of growing up in the Buncombe Holler, Highland Ridge area, the 1920s, early 30s. We much appreciate what he did. We learned a lot. We filmed it on the front porch of Marie and Clifford Holloway, there at Buncombe Holler, on the old homestead of Leslie and Ethel McCracken, who refers to quite a bit, and the McCracken boys were raised there on that place. Howard, thank you. The pineys you see in the background, the white and the reds, at best I understand, are from the shoots, descendants of, therefore, the original pineys that was on the old McCracken home. Beautiful, are they not? All right, Howard, again, thank you, and goodbye.
You had to make out so much to the family, didn't you, when you went in?
See, it was rough times?
But,
You said it was rough times back then?
yes.
I guess.
Definitely.
Yeah. I'd say in the 30s, everybody had it rough. That was in the middle of the Depression.
Yeah. It didn't get any better till after the war started, and they started.
It didn't get much better till after World War II
No,
ended.
not
Yeah, it was after it ended before things ever started picking up. Well, people had to live like we did after the war, even after World War II.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
It would be terrible. Well, like you're working for $1 an hour, and
Well, the first job I had, I
$5 or
got
$6
paid
a day.
60 cents an hour up there at Travelers.
yeah, how much?
60?
Oh, well, I think when I went to work up there for a little while,
60, wasn't it?
I think 60 cents or something, 50 or 60 cents. I didn't stay very long with that job.
Oh.
When we got married, we went to Muncie. I started driving a dump truck up there, 60 cents an hour.
Yeah, that's how it
That's
was.
$24 a week.
I drove a old bright old Federal wagon for $12 a week. 6 days a week. That's $2 a day.
$2 a day?
$2
Yeah.
a day.
You remember the little restaurant over at West Baden on wheels?
Yeah.
Beanery?
Brownie Moore run it.
What did they call that?
Beanery, wasn't it?
Huh?
The Beanery, was that
Yeah,
it?
well, yeah, I believe it was. It was a beanery, wasn't it?
But I worked there for Brownie. $3 a week and a place to sleep.
Oh,
Oh my. $3 a week.
I cut timber for Walter Qualkenbush.
yeah.
Our first tree hit the ground at daylight, and we stayed there till we couldn't see. $1.50 a day.
Oh my.
You know, that old man was greedy, wasn't he? Anybody that worked you like that was greedy.
We did. We were in the woods. Your first tree hit it when you could see
Daylight
it.
till dark.
Wow.
wasn't it?
There's a crosscut saw?
It was a crosscut saw.
Well, right after the war, I helped my uncle cut timber for a while. And he wasn't that greedy. He wasn't greedy at all. Fact of the matter, we would usually cut cross-tie logs. And when we got 30 ties cut, logs to make them out of, we quit. I don't care if it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we quit. And went home.
You wouldn't believe where I cut
So he was a decent person.
Yeah, he would have been.
the most tie cuts. You remember Harmon Compton?
Yeah.
He would go out and buy whatever acreage he could find that had some timber on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he moved his family in there, and they stayed in the woods till he got it done.
I didn't know
He had
that.
2 girls and 1 boy.
shack there, some kind.
She just sat back within a blanket or whatever.
They did.
Well,
Just
well,
camped
they
out.
did. Uh, June was the oldest girl, and me
Yeah.
and her pulled a crosscut saw all day long.
Hmm.
At one time, down in that valley where we lived, that holler, Red Nelson, down
Oh,
in there.
the Buffalo Holler?
Yep. Harmon was cutting timber on Red's place. And me and June started was going to take a load of cross tire. Harmon hewed them out by hand.
Yeah.
And he had an old truck, an old Chevrolet, and he put another transmission on it, and he made a fifth wheel on it. He had a trailer.
Oh, yeah.
So we had a load of cross tires on it and started back up that hill, and something broke. June was driving. She says, "Now I'm going to sit over this way." She said, "You'll have room to jump out." I said, "Then I'll go the other way and I'll jump." So when she jumped out, it turned over.
Uh-uh.
So Harmon heard it hit. Here he come. We got out there and rolled that thing back on the wheels. He fixed it. We loaded the tires back on it and hauled them out.
We had a truck. We had a 35 Chevrolet. First truck my dad had.
Now this was probably been an old pickup, and he put another transmission in it. It had two transmissions.
Mm.
And he fixed him a fifth wheel trailer on it.
Mm-hmm.
And he put a big load of tires on it. We'd pull them all over the place.
Hmm.
Oh, I'm going to have to get ready to head for home pretty
Yeah.
short.
Okay. I thought I'd take you home whenever you're ready. If you're ready, we'll go.
I got to be home before 30.
Okay. Well, again, it's Howard Breedlove. When were you born, Howard?
You say when?
Yeah,
January the 26th, 1918.
1918. That was the year of the big flu, wasn't it?
Yeah, they had flu in 1918, didn't they? That's before I was born.
Yeah.
Sure did.
One of my, the boys around here went and worked for the Army down Tennessee somewhere at that time, and they was making powder. And one of them got sick. One of my uncles, Jesse, and they thought he was going to die, but they was going to take him home with him anyway. And they took him home, and he got well.
Hmm.
But I had a brother that died in the Army, but it was 19 and 20 when he died.
He died of pneumonia,
They said it was a flu.
a flu.
Well, they had a flu epidemic in 1918.
Yeah.
I don't
But
know
this
how
was 19 and 20.
I don't know how long it lasted. It might have lasted till 1920 or longer. I don't know. There was a lot of people died from that, I
Oh,
guess.
yeah.
Yeah.
I remember reading about that. Yeah. Well, I remember Mom talking about it.
Well, my dad was, that was one of his, I don't remember if Jesse was older than Dad or not. But anyway, Jesse got the flu. The rest of them didn't, but Jesse got the flu. And they thought he was going to die, so they bundled him up and took him home. And he got well. And lived till he was 86 years old.
Hmm. Yeah, it was bad.
You were talking about when we used to run the school. Barb Worthinger and your dad worked at the power plant.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't stop for us.
Wouldn't stop.
Good. They just go right on. Once in a while, if Barb, one of these little hills, he'd have to slow down. He had a pickup, and we'd jump in the back of the pickup.
Whether he wanted you to or not, huh?
Yeah. They wouldn't stop for you.
Well, how many books do you carry home every day when you came home from school?
That's about as many as I did. I
What a heavy load.
Yeah, she's going to show you something here.
Hang on to this.
I know what that is, but I never used one like that.
That's a one-man,
Yeah.
One-man
that's a
crosscut
one-man
saw.
crosscut saw.
what's it called?
Was that what you bought today, Irene? Oh, that's a goodie.
That somebody has taken good care of that.
Yes, they have.
Boy, it is. That's a good one.
Oh, boy,
I bet
you could cut a log in two with it,
Well,
couldn't
sure
you?
you could. Yeah.
Now, how would they sharpen something like this?
They file it you can see your flat side. This is your sharp part right here and here. It file that with a file.
Straight file.
Hmm.
And that hasn't been filed very many times.
No, it
Them
hasn't.
teeth
It
are the
looks
same.
practically new.
Them teeth are, it is, it's a new saw.
That saw was never used much.
No.
Maybe it's used by a McCracken then. Maybe it's used by a McCracken.
Ari's
No,
gonna,
it probably never was.
Ari's
No.
going to use it, ain't you, Ari?
You get Dan to help her cut wood with that.
That was a one man.
I'm
crosscut
like
saw.
you, I never used one of them.
I never either.
It was so you could use it with one man or two.
Yeah. But we used the old big one.
Yeah.
And some of them were better than the others.
Yeah.
Them narrow ones, I never did like.
Katydid, we call them. We call them a katydid.
I never did like to use them.
Bought those things because they were, for one thing, they were cheaper. But you could cut a skinnier tree because you need to use a wedge, you know.
Yeah.
As soon as you got that saw buried an inch or so, you start your wedge in there.
But you take the two guys that are pulling that saw, your partner over on the other end better not push down on it.
No. And I tried cutting up a tree up here one time, and I had a guy that really liked to ride.
Is that what they call by riding the saw?
That was your dad.
Is that
I
right?
said, Herman, when you tell me about cutting logs, I wouldn't have cut logs with you for 30 minutes. He was terrible.
You wouldn't cut with them. They run just as free as you, but they really cut.
Two good men on a crosscut saw could cut as much timber as one good man on a chainsaw now.
Huh.
They could. Two of my cousins, they were stack houses, but they were my cousins. Two of
Remember
them
these?
Yeah.
used to, they had some good
Tri-square.
timber. They would cut 10,000 feet a day.
Now that
Ooh, that's a
wasn't-
lot.
And cut them
wasn't
up,
took
cut
care
them up
of.
lengths. Log lengths. Of course, they was
But
strong
that's
as
a
horses.
tri-square.
They were
Yeah.
young, strong.
Hey, brother, would you know what that is?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've got a couple of them.
Like it,
What kind of square do they call it?
tri-square.
Tri-square. I've heard of a tri-square.
Yeah,
I
I'm pretty
never
sure.
used one.
Tri-square.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I
But
got a
that
couple of them.
wasn't took care of, see.
They also got rusted. They had marks on them, didn't they?
Oh, yeah.
I
That's your
don't pay attention to it.
tri-square.
I bought out an old
If
man,
you
a bunch
sand
of
that
stuff
off
he
real
had.
good, it
Yeah.
probably-
No, it's
The
just an
marks on it.
antique,
Tell
you know,
where
hang
it
on
was
the
at,
wall.
but they wouldn't come out good.
I mean, I can tell you, use
Now,
it,
that thing's
cut,
well
you know,
made,
measure an
too.
angle
That's
with.
all
I
right.
didn't pay.
Metal in that handle.
This is something they used to use years ago.
Mhm.
They had one of those
That was a good one, and it's dead.
a round thing and had a string
was-
on it.
That was
You know,
probably,
and they,
Plumb bob?
yeah, plumb bob. You ever seen one of them?
I've used them.
Yeah, plumb bob. You remember a plumb bob?
that was probably one of the best ones made.
That tri-square, you mean?
Yeah,
Thought you'd probably remember that.
Yeah.
You used the plumb bob.
Yeah, I think I used to have one, but I don't think I have one. Oh, I've got a, what's this, chalk line, and it's made so you can use it as a plumb bob.
You had
Got
a
a
weight
little,
on the
where you
end.
put the chalk in it, you screw that in there and had a little tip on it, and you can use it as a plumb bob.
It had to be heavy enough to pull it.
Mhm.
Fact of the matter, it's probably hanging up over there in the shed right now.
If you wanted a spot down there, you could go to that nail up there, drop it down there, and you put it right on it.
You know, I was telling Howard when I picked him up there, I drove down there to the street there, and a new street. And I said, I know where I am now. There used to be the feed mill down the way.
Yeah.
I said, that's,
Yeah, where they made College Street on through there.
Pluto flower.
that's Pluto flower.
They had a,
Oh,
had
yeah.
a red devil on the.
Well, now,
Okay.
you're talking about the feed mill.
Yeah.
On the other side, there was a flour mill. And
Okay.
that's where they made Pluto flour.
That
Okay.
old silo or whatever you wanted to call it was there for a long time.
That's right.
Well, I remember in the springtime, early spring, well, Grandma would order so many hundreds of baby chickens. and they would come with RFD, rural free delivery.
Yeah, the
Bring
mailman.
her out here.
Yeah,
You
just
know,
right.
I am not so sure, but what you can still get chickens like that.
Is that
Well,
right?
Somebody said
Yeah.
that.
Not too long ago.
Well, I think Margie said her mom, Maddie.
When she was living, she
Yeah, she used to order
she
chickens
used to order
like
her
that.
chickens by
Little
mail.
chickens
Mhm.
like
The
that.
mail carrier didn't like it very well, but he had to deliver them.
And leave it out with the mailbox.
Yeah, he didn't want to leave it too long. Foxes